Hey folks, how you doing? So I've got another Electron just to add to the pile, so that's 3 of them I've got now. And the reason I bought this one wasn't so much for the computer, but rather what's attached to it. Because it came in at, I wouldn't say cheap, but not an unreasonable price for this, which is the +1 expansion, which is really what I wanted. It's just a bonus that I've got an Acorn Electron that came with it as well. So yeah, I've been after one of these for a while. I don't know a whole lot about them, and I do that on purpose. I purposely don't research that much because, well, I kind of want to explore these things on camera with you lot as I get them, really. But my understanding of it is it's an expansion of the Acorn Electron that allows you to add cartridge-based software, so it gives you these 2 cartridge ports at the back, and it'll also give you, if that'll focus, a printer and analog joystick port as well. I don't think it does anything more than that. I don't think it adds any like memory or anything to the system, so it's quite a big chunky unit for, well, not a massive amount of functionality I suppose, but yes, don't know if it works. It was sold to me as untested, which could mean it's going to work fine and it's genuinely untested. Or there could be an issue, which is why it's been put away. I don't know, but let's find out together. And just taking a bit of a closer look at it, you can see just how yellowed and dirty this thing actually is. So you can see where the sun's hit it and it's yellowed over time, and where the shadows of the keys have been, it's still nice and cream coloured. Through the viewfinder of the camera, it actually looks not that bad, but trust me, it really is quite yellow and quite dirty. The expansion actually looks a bit brighter, but then I don't think it's faded as bad. Maybe it's got a slightly different composition of the plastic. I don't know, but it is just as dirty. So that's pretty grim. It's gonna need a good clean up, but that's kind of how I like it, really. Cartridge ports are in there. Yeah. Okay. What do you think? Let's just throw some power to it and see if it comes to life. Because I don't know what this video is actually going to be. It might just be a clean-up video, a little demonstration video, or we might have an issue. Honestly, I don't know at this point, but let's find out. Hooked up to my TV, and let's try putting power to it, and let's just see what it does. Nothing whatsoever. Not even a bleep, not a flicker, nothing on the screen. Okay. Right, well, we're off to a flying start then, aren't we? Okay, let's see what we can do. I could try separating the unit, maybe. That'll make a difference. I don't know. It would eliminate something anyway if I could do that. Okay, let's try that. Should be a fairly simple procedure to get this apart. Yeah. Flip it over. There's 2 extremely large screws there, and I think that's the only thing that holds it together. Let's buzz those out. Did they come right out? No, they must be captured nuts. Okay. There we go. That's just separated now. Let's put that to one side. And let's try this again, shall we? So, let's put that back in. And I've dropped my cable. Bear with me. And it's wrapped around everything. Right, let's try again. Nope, still dead. Oh no! No, tell a lie. I've just got a bit of a dodgy power cable. In fact, it's not the cable, I know the cable's good. It's going to be the power socket. Yeah. But that is powering up. Yeah. Okay. So it works with the... Ugh, that didn't sound too clever. Yeah, that's definitely just a loose power connection. I think that's all it is. It powers up without the +1, but with the +1, it's dead. And that's a very, very dodgy power socket. So let's unplug that before we do some damage. Right, so here's what I'm thinking. If it's powering up, albeit with a bit of a loose connection, without the +1 plugged in, but it's completely dead with it, then there could be a short on the power rail. And that would explain it. So the +1 may have a failed component that's putting that short on there. So we'd have to identify that and replace it, or it could be something else completely, who knows. But that's the theory I'm working on at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up the Electron, and I'm just going to take a meter measurement of the power rails and see what the resistance is. Then plug in the +1 and see if that changes and see if we get a short. So that's 4 screws. Let's open this up. What have we got? We've got an issue 4. Very common. We just disconnect the, very gingerly disconnect the keyboard. There we go. Okay. Let me just bring my meter in and reposition a little bit. In fact, let me just reposition that so it makes a bit more sense. Zoom in a bit. Okay. So let's just unplug the power board for now. And we should have, I think, black, and the middle pin should be a common ground, and then we've got +5 volts and -5 volts. So if I just take a resistance measurement, +5 volts, 465 ohms, minus, yeah, even higher. Okay, that's fine. Let me just get the +1. We'll plug that in. We shouldn't need any power just for this test. I'm not going to bother screwing it right in. Is that it? Oh, it's a fiddly thing. Hang on. There it goes. Right. Okay, that's in. Right. Let's do the same thing again. So yeah, +5 volt rail, 2 ohms, and I suspect that 2 ohms is just in the leads of the multimeter. Almost, yeah. So that's a dead short. -5 volts has dropped considerably as well, but it's fine. I wouldn't say that was the problem. But yeah, it's definitely +5 volt line. That's going to a dead short when I plug the +1 in. So there's the problem. Let's see if we can locate the actual offending component in the +1 interface. I've been inside one of these before, so it'll be interesting. I can't imagine there's a whole lot to it. I'm seeing 3 screws. Let's just take them out. I don't know if I'll need to take these out completely. I don't know if I can. Blimey, that's... Hang on, let me find a better fitting screwdriver, because that ain't going to do it. And we're back. That is a tight screw. Christ. Come on. Good grief. Right, that's not been out for a long time. They would have been better. Right, will this just separate? Yes, it will. Oh. Okay. Straight away I'm seeing a lot of dirty staining. That's had a spillage. That's had... Something's leaked inside there. Maybe that's caused the problem. Hang on, let me just get in a little closer with the camera. Yeah, it all looks very simple actually. It's just a little bit of logic. So hopefully if something has blown up, it shouldn't be the end of the world to replace it. With the exception of that, that's presumably the ROM. But if I look here, I'll try and catch it in the light. That's had a spillage. Something has leaked all over there, and I'm wondering, could it be that simple, do you think? Could it be something that's leaked in there is causing a short? I mean, obviously whatever it is dried out now, but could it still be conductive? Maybe if we clean that up, we get rid of the problem. Maybe. I think it's going to be the first thing I try. Let's give that a go. Okay, let me get the board out, and we'll try cleaning it up. Don't think there's a great deal holding this in. I've got 4, 6 screws, maybe. Let's take them out and see if the board moves. Is that going to lift out? What's holding it? Oh yes, there it goes. There it goes. Yeah, we're out. We're free. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, do you know, I'm going to try and see if I can get in close with the camera on this, but I can't tell whether that's leftover flux or whether that's corrosion. But it's not really focusing, isn't it? I apologise. Yeah, it's not looking good. So let's try cleaning that up with a bit of IPA and see if that makes a difference. Just give it a bit of a soaking. And that as well. And yes, one of the X's toothbrushes comes in very handy for this. And you get the idea. I'm just going to work on this for a little bit. I'll bring you back when I've finished cleaning, I suppose. It's been about half an hour I've been working on the board, and I don't know what on earth that stuff was, but the alcohol and the toothbrush on their own weren't shifting the bigger parts of it, so I had to use like a little tiny screwdriver and just gently influence, I would say, because I was being so careful, the larger parts, and they just sort of broke away and crumbled, and whatever it is, it's really sticky and horrible. I don't know, it could be an old coffee stain or something, or do you know what, I don't even want to speculate on what the hell it is. But it's gone from the underside of the board anyway, it's looking a lot better. But the top of the board, where we've had the initial spillage, yeah, that's pretty grim, and it's going to be really hard for me to clean around that socket, so just for completeness, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that socket altogether. I'll desolder it and take it out and then clean it and refit it, and then we know. If we've still got a problem, we know it's not that. So, yeah, let me get set up for that. See how well this goes. Do you know what? I'll just bring you back when I'm done. It's probably... I'm going to need to get quite close up to this, so... Won't be a tick. Came out pretty easy, actually. And yeah, it's pretty gross under there, so... I'll do the same again. I'll just clean it up best I can. Put the socket back in. I might clean up the edge connector on the computer as well, and then we'll try it again and just see what we get. See if it makes a difference, although I'm not optimistic that this is the issue, but I mean, it's a cleaning job that needs doing anyway, and it eliminates something, and it eliminates, if it is the problem, then it's a fairly simple fix. So yeah, let me get that cleaned up and I'll bring you back. It's a good hour later, and that was a lot of hard work, but yeah, it's eventually, I think I've got most of that stuff up. I don't know what the hell it was, but in places it has eaten into the solder mask a little bit, so it was corrosive, whatever it was. So it's possible that whatever it was that was spilled was putting a short on the power line. I don't know. I really don't know. But I've cleaned it up as best I could. The IPA began to shift it a little bit, and I had to poke at it a little bit with a just a wooden toothpick. I used that because it wouldn't damage the board. And then in the end, it was actual contact cleaner that I used, and that really seemed to start moving it. So it's a lot better now. I wouldn't say it's 100% perfect, but it's good enough, I think. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start pulling some of these socketed chips and just making sure that they're it's all clean underneath there. Because who knows? I don't think the spillage got this far, but I just want to double check. And then I suppose I'll clean up the connector. I'll clean up the edge connector on the computer, and we'll give it another test, and we'll just see what the results are. Right, just to jump ahead. I've refitted the socket back on the board. I've soldered that in, and I've refitted the board loosely back in its case, and then I've hooked it up to the machine, and yeah, we've still got the same fault, so that wasn't the issue. It's not surprising, really. I'd have been very surprised if that had fixed it, but yeah. So we've got a component on the board that's causing a short, and I don't know which one, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 socketed ICs. So for the sake of convenience, I'm going to pull those, and we'll just see if the short goes away. If it does, great, I'll order a replacement IC. If not, which will probably be the case, it's going to be one of these soldered in ones. So I mean, the quick way of doing it, I suppose, would be just to snip the power legs off each one, but that's a little destructive for me, so I don't really want to do that. So I'll probably end up desoldering each IC in turn, and we'll just see if the fault goes away. Eventually, we're going to find the offending part, but it might just take a while. Okay, current state of play. I've pulled out a few chips, and no, it didn't affect the short circuit at all, so I've put sockets in and replaced the chips. And then I got bored doing that, so I thought I'll start pulling some other components as well. And this right here, that's a little tantalum. I've disconnected one of the legs, and yet the short has gone. So that is definitely faulty. With it disconnected, I've put a meter across it, and it is a dead short. So that is a dead capacitor. So I don't think I've got any tantalums of that value. I don't think. So I'm going to replace it with an electrolytic. I believe the tantalums have much lower leakage, but I've got what I've got, and if it gives me trouble, then I'll go and buy a tantalum. But I'm sure if I use a high quality electrolytic, it'll be fine. So yeah, I'll swap that out. I can't guarantee that was the only fault, but that is definitely a fault. So yeah, we'll see if that's we'll swap it out and see if that solves the problem. Yeah, ignore me. I'm talking rubbish. I had an entire bag of tantalum capacitors for the right value. I don't remember buying them, so I must have had them for a long time. But anyway, it's in, and the short seems to have gone. Like I said, I can't guarantee that's the only fault, but I think we test it. Yeah, I think before I go any further, though, I do need to do something about this power socket on the machine, because that is going to drive me crackers. So let's just... Come on. Disconnect that. The board out. And we'll desolder that. Let's get this out of the way. I think I've got a spare. Should have. There we go. Right. See if we can find another one. How convenient. Hopefully that'll work a bit better. Okay, I'll put that back in the case. We'll connect up the +1 and we'll see what happens. Here we go again then. Let's give it a go. Nothing's really screwed down. Everything's just kind of loose at the moment, but it shouldn't matter. So it didn't work at all last time. I've got rid of the short. Hopefully, I'm not guaranteeing it's going to work, but hopefully it'll do something. Oh, we've got a beep. We've got a picture. In fact, we had a double beep then, which is unusual. So does the double beep mean that the expansion's working? Let me just pull that again. And if we just listen. Yeah, 2 beeps, which is unusual for an Electron. But yeah, that's working, and we've got a picture, and yep, a responsive keyboard. So the computer seems okay. Not well from limited testing. The expansion, well, it's not causing problems anymore. But what I do have as way of testing it is this, and it's a cartridge. Tree of Knowledge. I think it's some educational software. The reason I bought this is because it was like really cheap, and I just wanted something to test that this thing was working. So if I pull the power again, it goes on the first cartridge port, I think, and plug it back in. Oh yeah, there we go. That's loading, and you know what? That's working. Is that still loading, or is it locked up? Nope, that's working. Okay, so that's a bit of educational software which I probably won't get into right now, but hey, it seems to work. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. That seems to be a successful repair. So all for the want of a tantalum capacitor that was shorting out the 5-volt line. Yeah, excellent. I mean, there's still things I want to do to this yet. I've still got, it's still filthy, it's disgusting. It could do with a proper clean up. But it all seems to work, and I'm pleased with that. So if you're interested in another video in it, I'll happily do one where I clean it up and maybe retrobrite it and make it look nice. But in terms of functionality, we seem to be there. So big hurdle done. So I'm made up. So yeah. I'll say as always, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one.